And good morning. It is very, very cold again. I thought it was going to warm up last week. It did for about maybe 2 days. Then it went back to being freezing cold again. In a couple days it was warm enough though we lost all of our snow, which is kind of sad. Oh, the wind. There's this ice cold wind that just sort of creeps in. Uh-oh, car coming. Okay, there it goes. Ooh, I don't want the wind to steal my hood. Oh man, it's cold. So, to let you guys know, it warmed up a little bit and we lost all of our snow, and then it got freezing ass cold again. So, I was like, oh good, next week I can actually make a morning walk where I'm not gonna die from the cold, but no, apparently not. Oh God. Okay, another car coming. I'm gonna have to step off the road here. Okay, there it goes. All right, anyway. So, on my way back to my house this morning, I think what we're gonna do is we're just going to do some housekeeping real quick, and then I'm going to try to talk about something serious. So the housekeeping real quick is Thursday night's Empire of live stream is doing very, very well, and I would very much like you guys to help me make it grow. We have hit 100 live viewers on Empire of Lies now, so that's fantastic, and we get lots of good comments, emails, responses on social media about the stream series being excellent. I would very much like you, everyone who listens to this video, share your favorite Empire of Lies stream directly with others. Share it with friends, family, social media. Get people that you know involved in my Empire of Lies stream, because Chris and I really want that to be our main thing that we do together. Because there's so much that we have to share. Like, we could cover this material for months. There's a lot to cover. So I would really appreciate your help in helping that grow and getting it in front of people. Preachers, pastors, educators, politicians, people who are involved in PTA, school groups. These are the kind of people that I want to be involved with my positive content. So if you could help me share that, that would be great. All right, let's talk about something serious. And that serious thing is belief and church stuff. Now, you don't have to be Christian. This is not just for Christians. This is for all of us. Excuse me. Oh, man. God, that wind is cold. It's not a very strong wind, but it's super frigid. Oof. Man, and I'm walking right into it. Anyway, when it comes to belief and purpose, we have to have something metaphysical we share to have logos, pathos, things that give us meaning from working in service to a greater truth or a bigger understanding, a bigger thing, a fabric that we are woven into. This is why I think that individualism is a cancer. Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't be individuals. I'm not like a communist collectivist or anything. But for the entirety of our civilization, we haven't really had this individualist cancer like we have today, where people are just atomized, means broken apart into the smallest of units. We haven't had that until modernity. We haven't really even had that since like before the 1950s. And so this is why many times on my channel you've heard me say that capitalism and the 1950s idyllic lifestyle was really just the collectivist communism sold to Americans. Because they want us all to live in our little cookie cutter houses, buying our products, working our fingers to the bone for bigger people that own companies and governments, just so we can participate in a rat race to get the shiniest doodads and die on schedule. And that is, in my opinion, as much as I like the concepts of free trade and free organization and all that, it has been weaponized against us, like a lot of things. And in this decay and atomization of the last 60 to 80 years, we have lost any kind of metaphysical, transcendent, or non-material identity that we share. And religion is a big part of that, but there's more too. There's a belief in what you are. What you are. Are you an American? Are you part of the Roman Empire? Are you a German? are like, what gives you your identity as someone who lives in, I don't know, Chechnya or something like that, right? Like, what gives you an identity? It's not you being an individual. Individuals have no civilizational identity, do they? No, they don't. An individual doesn't occupy space in a greater whole unless there is a shared belief, a shared truth, a shared identity that is real, not just something that people imagine and put a label on, but something that means something, something that has power and identity on its own that other people can be a part of. That's what a country, a nationality, an ethnicity is. And this is why for a long time I've been saying America is not a country. America is not an identity. America is not an ethnicity. And there's a loud truck coming. Okay, there it goes. But America is not an identity. We are not an ethnicity at all. Maybe in the long ago, we were starting an ethnogenesis. But with the Brother War starting in the 1860s and everything going off the rails, and then all the shit that you guys know about that I talk about all the time happening afterwards, America is not an ethnicity. It's not an identity. It's not even a country, really. It's a hollow, evil empire. And that's not an identity. So why do I bring all this up? Because you have to help us build an identity that we can share, so we and our children and our children's children can have a functional identity. Because people without an identity will not survive. We are being taken over by Muslims, Jews, Chinese, many different groups of outsiders that have a ethnic bond, a bigger pathos logos cluster that they are a part of. And we atomized, deracinated whites in the West don't have that. So we are not generating near enough energy, artwork, identity for people to band together to fight and assert our dominance. This is how groups survive, anthropologically speaking. We have to have that. And so spirituality and faith is a big part of that. So this part is for Christians here. If you're a Christian listening to this, you have to get on the ethnic and racial identity train to help. Because this whole we're all the same in God's eyes shit is cancer, and it's killing us, and you have to stop it. You have to quit this bullshit of using God and the Bible and Christian shit to sidestep the racial question. Because God doesn't want the white race destroyed. God wouldn't want any race destroyed. And if you believe in God and you're a diehard Christian, then you believe that God made us the way we are. You think he did that on purpose? Yeah, probably. Don't you think he wants his creations to be what they're supposed to be and not be genocided? Yeah, probably. So if you're a Christian listening to this, you have to fight that within your church, within your Christian community. Because no religion, not even Christianity, not the Bible, can come between your racial identity and your civilizational survival. Even religion has to conform to the well-being of our people, or it has to be left behind. So you think about that, Christians. Now, this is not just for Christians, but for everyone who cares about metaphysics, transcendence, that kind of thing. All of you who believe in spirituality, life after death, anything like that, any of you who have those beliefs, you need to share those with others in a way that is ethnically relevant. And I don't say racially this time, I say ethnically, because ethnicity matters too. If you have beliefs that you've come to, you need to weave that into an identity that you can share to strengthen folk, community, family, and build, as a Christian, I would call it church, but build a meaningful communal body around those beliefs. If you're just an individualist that has transcendent or spiritual beliefs and you share them with no one, then it doesn't mean anything to anyone except you, and you're not helping. And if you're listening to my channel, you probably care. You probably at least are already aware of the civilizational rot and the racial animus against Western people. So everything that you do needs to be communal, ethnically focused on your people and your identity. Maybe you live here in Appalachia like me. Maybe you live up in Maine, or maybe you live in Alberta, Canada, or somewhere in Australia or whatever. We obviously, all of us whites, have different ethnicities based on where we live, what language we speak, how we grew up, etc. But we're still part of the same racial civilizational cluster. So whatever you do, whatever you believe in, you need to focus it on building a healthy identity and community around that. And that type of non-material strength is what fights this rot. I mean, as subversive of a character as he was, look at Yuri Bezmenov's words to us. He said faith and sticking together around your church and having faith in God is what fights communism. I think he was right about that. I think that there's a lot of things he didn't tell us on purpose, but story for another day. But he was right about that. Famous Yuri Bezmenov in these circles. He even said the way to defeat it, the way to survive the communist plague is with faith and unity around faith. And he was right. We have to have a strong, unshakable, deep belief and love of the things that matter to us more than money, more than having our rent paid on time, more than having our social media accounts taken away, more than even having our livelihood, our jobs taken away. We have to have things that we love and believe in more than that material crap, or we are going to be conquered. So be a part of that positivity and grow it and nurture it around you. That's my message for today. So, it got a little warmer when the wind died down, so thank goodness for that. All right, well, I'm sure that I have blathered long enough. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. Join me Thursday night for Empire of Lies. We'll be speaking more interesting things about the past and weaving the relevance of the modern day into that. So I hope that you will see us Thursday night for more Empire of Lies, and I will definitely be back next Monday night with more Discordant Dragons. Have a great week. God bless.